Hey everybody, this is Sherrick and my daughter Katira. Katira's getting ready to go run in college. She's going to go run for a school in Iowa, and she is super fast. Those legs are just motors. But we thought we'd show you some of the things that help keep the feet and legs and everything doing better, and also work on some lymphatic drainage issues, which are some things that I haven't shared a lot of techniques for, but we do them all the time here in the clinic. So Katira, show them what you do with the tuner to help with plantar fasciitis. So turn the device up really high. Start working on scraping. Go right clear to the toes and go in between the toes and around the toes, and try and get every square inch of skin tissue, every single spot that you can there, in between, around the toes, on top of them, on the bottom of them, underneath them. This young lady is super fast. She is a sprinter, loves to do the 100 and the 200, and she can jump, and she's just all around talented. We're going to miss her an awful lot as she goes away to college here. But this is an extremely helpful thing for shin splints. Show them how you go ahead and go up the legs all the way up as far as the knee, and you just scrape that area with the device turned on high. And it helps get a lot of blood flow in there, helps her recover quicker from those track practices and workouts, and gets the lymphatic drainage working really well. So she can go all the way up to the thigh, up to the top of the hip, paying special attention to work on the vastus medialis, the vastus lateralis, all those IT band structures. Extremely helpful. So besides the plantar fasciitis, peripheral neuropathy is a technique that this works with. We also, once we do that, there's another technique that has helped you tremendously through all of your high school track, huh?
Yep.
We use, go ahead and turn off the tuner. We use a simple buffer. We get these at Harbor Freight Tools. I'll stick a link to this in the bio. But we get this thing for about 20 bucks, and we have certain techniques that help an awful lot for our runners. Go ahead and show them some of those, as well as the lymphatic drainage. So the buffer is just a really strong tool. I don't use it a lot on children and adults with disabilities because it's not a very balanced tool for the brain, but it's extremely good to get deep pressure and pain out of muscles. But when she uses that at the top of her hip, especially right up the top there, I'll have her spend about a minute just kicking the foot back and forth, because that's going to help with a lot of lymphatic drainage. There are 5 main points for lymphatic drainage in the body. The first one is at the top of the hip. We'll do that on both sides. So she'll do this for about a minute. The second point, go ahead and move your hair away, is just below the collarbone on each side. Go ahead and put it right there. Now we don't want her hair anywhere close to this thing because it is a spinning motor. It's got about 1 inch of padding, so it makes a great tool for lymphatic drainage. But lymphatic drainage at the top of the hips, lymphatic drainage points at the just under the collarbone on each side. So we'll do those for about 4 minutes total, 1 minute on each of these points. And then the last point is go ahead and turn that off. The last point is a cool little trick that we found with our tuner that takes advantage of some ancient understanding. You see this area right in here controls hydrodynamics for the vast majority of the body. In ancient Ayurvedic medicine, they call this area the water wheel, and it just helps control drainage. So we'll turn our device on, usually turn it on to high or a comfortable level, and just work this area all around the ear and the side of the head, especially on this right side up here. For some reason, it has a lot to do with the drainage. If we need to, we'll use our blades to help pull some of the drainage further down and get the head and neck in that area to drain a lot of the tensions out of there. So when we combine this work for about a minute on each of these lymphatic points, and with a child, with a small child or an individual with a disability, oftentimes we'll just use the device itself on those same points and help them work their foot back and forth or their leg back and forth, because the muscle pump can help with that. Now when you're working on lymphatic drainage, it takes about 6 weeks of daily work to really restore the circulation and the balance. But we've seen individuals that will work on a leg, they'll have 1 inch and even 2 inches of swelling pulled out of that extremity just by working on these areas and working the foot. So work this a lot with people who've had knee surgeries, knee replacements. Has it been helpful for you in track?
Ankle sprains.
Ankle sprains. Should show them just a couple of the techniques really quickly with the tuner for some of the knee issues. We'll turn the device on high, put the tongs about 1 inch apart, and just plop that right in that popliteal fossa, that area in the back of the knee, and then just kick the knee back and forth there. Feels extremely helpful in that area. Another technique that we'll do is plop it further apart and use the pillow to help support that area, and just go to the sides of the knee. And again, we'll work on using the foot back and forth, up and down, to be able to help with that. Now, I'm not close enough to be able to see any of your questions, but I'll try and come closer here to see if any of you have any questions that you'd like to have us address while we're doing that. Another great spot for that whole area is to kick it on top of the knee, hold it there while you're just, again, working the proprioceptive connections all up and down that whole region. Hopefully this will be real helpful. We've had this question by a number of people. How do we help out with severe plantar fasciitis? And those techniques for scraping, as well as using the buffer, make a world of difference. This is also the best way to help with lymphatic drainage. Do that daily. Thank you. We're going to sign out for now. Hope you all have a great day.